Hello, this is another episode of our talk show on Farmers Radio, and I'll be your host, Maureen Mitei. So today we have a guest to answer some questions. And before we do that, can you introduce yourself?
My name is Kelvin Keter, and I am a specialist in ICT for agriculture, otherwise known as digitalization in agriculture.
Okay.
I've been actively involved on matters of agriculture and ICT for quite a number of years now, I think. That's where I've developed my expertise in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So today we are talking about digitalization in agriculture
Right.
and opportunities it presents.
Yeah.
Sorry. So what do you think is digitalization in agriculture, and what does it mean to an ordinary person?
Actually, the digitalization in agriculture, otherwise known as ICT in agriculture, is the application of digital tools in agric. So be it at the primary production or in marketing and sales, at any moment where we see these tools being applied, then, well, that is where the concept comes in of digitalization in agriculture. And it is proving that it can be a game changer in supporting and accelerating transformation across the continent. When you look at the agricultural food systems, you realize that now than before, we are seeing more solutions being built by innovators to transform the agric in the continent. So, it means a lot, and it addresses a wide scope of facts and conditions affecting farms themselves, the farmers, and the entire sector as a whole.
Why are digital solutions in agriculture data potentially so transformative, and what is the current status?
Well, they offer farmers access to tailored information and insights that allows the individual to optimize their production, gain access to appropriate products and services, and also to explore linkages with markets. So this means that players in agriculture sector, including farmers, can access information such as how-to farm guides, the market trends, and even get financial and credit facilities to grow their enterprises. So that is it basically, how this is so transformative.
So, Calvin, do you think we have enough digital tools yet?
No, not yet. The already available agtech solutions developed majorly serves to address information needs. Urgent solutions which developers should now consider are the marketing platforms for agri-food sector.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how do we address the digital divide?
Well, digitalization of agri-food systems involves the risks that potential benefits will be distributed between rural and urban areas, gender and youth populations. So urban areas often have better developed digital ecosystems, such as resources, skills, and networks compared to rural areas. So combined with the global trends of urbanizations and the middle and the rich classes settling in cities, there is a potential for digitalization to exacerbate the existing rural-urban disparities.
What advice would you give to innovators in ICT agriculture space?
Well, to the innovators who are in ICT for ag space, I think to them I'll tell them that the applications they are developing should be problem-based and should begin with the user in mind. This stresses the need of participation of the beneficiaries in the development of the project. So while you want to develop a project, yes, go to the user and develop from that perspective. Because most of the times, innovators in this space develop solutions without their own ground reality. So if you are building a solution, don't come from the office side.
Okay.
Go to the farmer and see from his point of view. And I think that will help us address the challenge whereby we find solutions which do not fit the ground reality.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why is it important to adapt to digital technologies in agriculture?
Well, statistics show, and it is even clear, that Africa, especially the sub-Saharan Africa, needs to double or perhaps even triple the current levels of agricultural productivity. So to meet the continental demands and starve of the food and nutritional needs, we are in mode that we need to double the food production or even to triple it. So, and to come up now to attain that, we need to find smart ways to produce And now that is why I think it is important to adopt the ICT for agricultural tools are being developed to achieve that need. And also there is an urgent call to leverage technologies for common good and ensure we develop self-sustainable food systems. And in ICT is a game changer, and it also applies in agriculture. So for us to ensure faster access of information, the better presentability, and the possibility to present up-to-date information, well, this we can all make them accessible via simple clicks.
So what are the existing barriers to digitalization in agriculture?
Well, some things which have led to slow adoption in agric are the scarcity of information. There are no places exactly where we can tell farmers to find them. And there is the perceived high cost of accessing the info. So you realize that most farmers think that it's too expensive to use most of the tools. Well, some of them are already free. And also the inadequate rural infrastructure. Considering some very remote places, access to network is difficult. Other places don't have electricity. And poor roads to reach them is a challenge that comes when you talk about the digitalization. You realize that some places are not accessible for trainers to go there to train them on some of the digital skills. Well, and that leads us to also know that some farmers have low levels of literacy, and it affects the adoption of these tools in agric.
Okay. And are farmers ready to pay for the services developed for them?
Yeah, well, we have seen farmers have said that in most of our interviews, they say that they are willing to pay for the services, which they deem valuable. So any solution that will serve the actual needs of the farmer will receive a positive reception in the market and possibly subscription. So if innovators are going to build solutions which are valuable to the farmer, then, well, farmers will pay for them.
So can digitalization entirely disrupt agricultural value chains?
Yes, and it is already happening in some sectors, especially the agronomic and extension services. So but it won't replace the value chain entirely. And some things like land preparation, planting, crop management, harvesting, storage, and marketing, it will only serve to complement them. So it has a potential to not only support, but to sustainably and inclusively. So while we adopt these tools, it won't disrupt entirely. It will support them, and in an inclusive way, everybody can even be able to participate in it. Right.
Okay, what should we expect from ICT for agriculture space going forward?
Well, with the right policies in place, innovations and investments, agriculture can be transformed in Africa. Africa can be able to feed the growing population and create decent employment for millions of young people. So as long as we learn from the lessons, do the right things, manage risks, and take into account data sovereignty, inclusivity, and sustainability, we will all benefit. So already REACH is growing quickly. The D4AG tools solutions have registered over roughly 33 million smallholder farmers across the continent, the African continent. So 33 million is a big number. And the sector has grown at a rate of about 44% per annum over the last 3 years in terms of the number of farmers reached. That is a big percentage. So going forward, food security and healthy diets is our collective responsibility. Let us all work together to ensure success. And well, adopting tools being created by different innovators will help us all achieve a food sustainable continent.
So that's it. That's all we had for today.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.